to the workshop meeting for the Verona Borough Council, Tuesday, November 27th, 2018. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mr. Kenna.
President Trubicki Bell.
Here.
Mr. Conti. Here. Dr. Carpenter.
Present.
Ms. Lualbo.
Here.
Mr. McCarthy.
Here.
Mrs. Provenza.
Here.
Mr. Suchovich. Here. Mayor Recupero texted me he's running a little bit late tonight, and I am here as well.
Okay, council will now hear the registered comments from the public. Mr. Brown?
Hello, Curtis Brown, 6780 Fair Vista. Giving the update regarding the text marketing. We're up to 572 subscribers so far. Since our last update of 2 months ago, we've sent out an additional 8 messages, and that totals around 4,300 messages that have gone out to the residents. We're finding that the majority of the traffic is coming from the sign that's up at Gupta's, up at the dentist office. And we're looking to hopefully get some information into the trip regarding the fact that we have the service here available in Verona. That's pretty much where we are. So anybody have any questions or anything?
The 572 subscribers, there's no way of determining how many of those are Verona residents, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
The majority of them are 412, some are 724, some are just other because they may be transit things.
So that could be Oakmont, Penn Hills, Plum Borough, anywhere. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, council will now hear comments on agenda items. Please approach the podium and clearly state your name and address. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Okay. Mr. Kenna.
Yep. So 2 things. Everybody, there's paperwork there, the agenda, and then that State of the Borough report that I've been doing every month. This one's a little bit short. This is the holiday and the budget. This was a little bit of a hectic month for us. So just to touch on a couple things, the chief and the mayor are still looking for part-time police officers. Applicants have to be Act 120 certified, and they need to be able to work 32 hours a week. For the Department of Public Works, I spoke to AJ. They're going to continue leaf pickup at least till the end of the week. They have the larger truck set up for the leaf vac, and they're going to keep it there as long as they can. Once it gets switched over, once we get a heavy enough snowstorm and it gets switched over, it's going to be tough to convert it all back, but he's going to keep trying to get leaves as long as they can still maintain the salt and the snow with the 2 other trucks.
Will they be? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just was wondering why they didn't come today.
With the snow, they actually were out salting and stuff today, so they were actually busy with that kind of stuff. So
But you think maybe they'll come
they're
tomorrow?
planning on being...
And they can do
in
both
this-
sides of the street? then,
Yeah, they're
maybe?
going to be there this week for sure.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay.
Will they be all around Verona, like, so not specifically any particular
No,
day?
they're basically going to be on a,
Fly by the seat of their pants, basically, trying
It's
to do
not gonna
everything
be-
they possibly can.
yeah, as much as they can get done.
I would think snow removal, keeping the streets is more important than
I think
picking
so,
up
too.
leaves.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The code enforcer, Mark Stanton has been appointed as the official building code officer for the borough. Before he was the code enforcement officer, he was handling basically in the same role as Bob Steinhaus, but he actually is licensed to do more, so he's doing all of the commercial and residential building inspections now. And we're no longer using professional code services. And then that's it for that, except for the finance update, which is the budget, which is the next thing on my agenda. Everybody on council has this in front of them, the big agenda, or the big budget.
Yes.
Everybody's had some time to review it. Nancy and I spent some time on the phone last week going through some line items and actually found some things that I wanted to change. A couple different things. One being for our grass cutting contract with Matt Resnick Landscaping. I broke that out into two separate pieces so that it's more accurate. On the very last page, under repairs and maintenance, 430370. Hey, Dave. Under repairs and maintenance, there's $10,000 there. That is not all him, actually only about 2,800 of that.
What number was that, Jerry?
430370.
Okay.
The rest of that is going to be just your typical maintenance, curbs and things like that the streets crew does. But part of him is there. That's the parts where he's doing, like along the railroad tracks and up South Avenue and the vacant properties. That's the general public works section of what he's doing. And then the rest of it, if you go down to the bottom of the page, 454750 under minor expenditures, there's $14,000. That's to maintain all of the parks. So that's in there. That was a change that we made. Another big change that we made is breaking out the insurance costs a little bit more accurately. It came to my attention through this review process that some of the insurance costs that we're paying, like we pay like one bill and it's several different policies. So we'll pay Penn Prime and it covers the fire department, the police department, the streets crew, the vehicles. So there was a little bit of misallocation going on, and I have that corrected now. So if you look under any of the expenditure sections, the first one being under 401351, that's on page 2. It's property general liability insurance. That budget amount is $5,100. That is the actual liability insurance for the borough for the year. And then each department under that, starting next with the police department on 410352 and 351, it's $4,300 and $3,500. So the 4,300 is the vehicles and equipment insurance, and the police professional liability at 3,500 is the insurance that we pay in case somebody were to get hurt, or if something happens in Verona, like what's in the news every day, and we end up needing insurance to cover ourselves, you know. That's under that. The fire department's next, 411195 and 411351. There's a couple down. So the top one is 13.5. That's your workers' compensation insurance that we cover for the fire department, for all the guys in case they get hurt. And then down from that, 351, 411351. That 8,300 is for the fire trucks and all the equipment and any liability for the fire department. So that's there. And then the last part of it, on the last page, under 430351, it's the property general liability insurance under the street public works department. That amount is 4,300. That's for the vehicles and the equipment for the public works department.
What number was that?
30351.
Okay.
So we broke that out so that it's more accurately depicted between each department.
Does that also include, 430351 include, every one of the 351s is for vehicles and liability?
Correct.
Basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see, what other changes did we make? So, under major expenditures, you can see that number on the last budget was around 120,000. It's now 177, because that's the major expenditures bucket under Public Works. So that's gonna be our paving, that's gonna be our grant matches, that's gonna be our sewer repairs, and like that. And over the last couple years, they've gotten higher and higher. The reason why we were able to get a little bit more is because if you look at page 1, under about 2/3 of the way down, account number 361400. That's your sewer rental fee. There's two pieces to that. The first piece being the money that we charge Penn Hills for the use of the sewer lines from the Verona Hilltop and Wildwood Avenue. I talked to Craig, and we are going to start working on putting a proposal together to increase what we charge them. We charge them right now $18,000 a year. We're going to work together and try to see if we can get that bumped up. So we're pulling we're going to pull the agreement and see how much more we can try to get out of it. This past year, we spent, just for that one culvert on Wildwood, we spent almost $50,000. And in the agreement, there is no responsibility for Penn Hills to contribute to any sort of repairs. So that rent that they pay us every year is it. So that rent needs to be more. On the other side of it, Alcosan increased the sewer rates again, as they've been doing every year. So our cost for sewer for Alcosan is increasing, so in my opinion, Penn Hills needs to be paying more. So we're gonna put together a proposal for Penn Hills. The other part of that number is the sewage rates that the residents pay. And like I mentioned, Alcosan increased their rates again, which I have here, that they're going up approximately 7% per year through 2021 as of right now. So I have a proposal for council. Right now, we're charging, and Oakmont Water does the collection, we charge $9 for every 1,000 gallons of water used, and we charge $19 per quarter per household. What I'm trying to propose to bring us up to what Alcosan is charging, plus a little bit more so that we can try to get some of these sewer systems upgraded, is to go to $11 per 1,000 gallons of water used and $22 per quarter. That would be an average increase per household of about $27 per quarter. So it's not an astronomical amount of money, but it's going to put almost $60,000 more into our budget, which could cover a culvert repair or a sewer lining project or a grant for a large sewer lining project.
Jerry, can I ask a question here?
Yeah.
On the math? Is the 27 more per quarter for both the,
That's your total bill is going to go up.
for the gallons of water and the
Correct.
sewage?
Correct.
Okay.
That's based on, Alcosan says that the average household uses 12,000 gallons of water per quarter. So based on 12,000 gallons of water per quarter, the bill will go up $27.
So what's the average, what's the amount that people are paying approximately per quarter now?
About $126 a quarter, or $136 a quarter, based on these averages.
Okay,
So it'll go up
136 is
to
gonna go
about
up.
162 per
Okay.
quarter.
So about,
$27. Now, by doing this, this budget does not include any increase in real estate tax. This keeps the mills at 7.8, so there's no tax increase.
is that about a 20% increase? No, yeah, $27 of 136 is about 20%.
Yeah, about 20%.
Okay. It's a bit of a hike, but what are you gonna do?
It is, if you're looking at the percentage of it, 7% of the increase is Alcosan, is the cost that we have nothing we can do about. And honestly, I mean, we're looking at, just the grant match for us to line Diamond Way is like $40,000 out of our pocket. That's our local match. And that's just one project. We've got a lot of sewer issues that need to be addressed. So that's my proposal. The budget balances, the bottom line, I think we're ahead like $100, $138. So we have a balanced budget. So council needs to decide whether they're okay with that sewage increase, and if they're okay with this budget. The step at this point, if everybody's comfortable with this budget, is that we make a motion to advertise this budget. We would advertise it and then post it here at the Borough Building for 10 days, but it'll be there for indefinitely.
Jay, that sewage rate increase is in this budget?
It is in that
It is in the budget?
Yes, sir.
That's what I thought you said.
And that is in the budget in 430750 under major, or, I mean, 74 under major expenditures?
No. So that's major expenditures is our expense that we're budgeting for those repairs. So if you look at the way that breaks out, if you look at, the revenue in is 361,500.
361,500?
Yep.
Is miscellaneous fees?
No. 361,500 is, oh, I'm sorry, 400, sewer rental revenue.
Oh, right.
And then our expense out to Alcoasand is like 49, it's the very, very last line, 499,000 sewage fee. $632,238 is what we expect
Okay.
to pay.
And so the
Alcoasand.
difference between those two is the 107?
No. The difference between those two is the amount of profit that we make on the sewage. That does not exactly equate to, all that money does not all go into the major expenditures. Some of it goes to other things. So that's not three different parts that go
Okay.
in. You know what I mean? The 177 is the amount that we can put aside for those major projects.
And that's increased by $27,000 from the original draft.
I think the original draft was 120, was it not?
I'm looking here, it says 150.
Was it 150? Then it's a $27,000 increase.
Okay.
Okay, so that's my spiel. So we would need action on council moving forward.
I'll make a motion that we advertise the budget. I'm comfortable with it. And also the raising of the,
Aren't those two
Alcoasand.
separate motions, though?
Well,
I'll do two separate motions. Okay, I'll make a motion to advertise the budget.
yeah, right now we just need a motion.
Second.
Okay, motion on the floor by Mr. Conti to advertise the budget, second by Mr. Suchovich. Are there any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you. And then I think Craig is going to draft a resolution for the increase in sewage. He'll also draft a resolution to keep the millage rate the same for real estate tax. So during the next meeting, that's when we would do that. So you don't have to worry about that.
All right.
So is the next meeting also when we would then pass the budget?
Officially, you'll pass the budget next week. After the public has time to look at it and if they have any comments.
Okay.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Jerry, thank you.
Thank you very much, Jerry. That was a lot of work. I just have a couple things.
What about Mayor?
There's nothing there.
I do have a few things. I
Well-
didn't have the chance to notify Mr. Kenna.
Okay. Do you want to do it now, or you want to wait till the end?
I can do it now, that's fine. Did we pass on Second Street, the ordinance for parking?
I'm going to address that in my
Okay,
report.
okay. The Children's Center, I got a phone call from Betty today. Their entranceway is very, very, very bad. All the cold patch came up. We need to redo that if possible. And we need to put that on the agenda for springtime to pave that section. In the same way with up at Patsy's, if they can go up and look at that, you know, at the alleys there, around the bend there, where the plow hits it. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
This road going into the Children's Center, Dave, is that our road?
Yeah,
I didn't know where that started or...
it's part of the alley. It's not very big.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know if it started in the roundabout, you know, the...
No, right at the entrance as you go into the Children's Center. Maybe 50 yards, 40 yards.
Think you can cold patch it for the winter to get through?
It will, yeah, but as we plow, you know, it'll dig it back up, as you
It
know.
has to only be cold patch. You can't get asphalt.
Yeah, asphalt plants are closed now.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Just a couple things. I want to start by saying that we appreciate all the volunteers that we have in Verona, and the reason why I think I can speak for all of council is that we are all volunteers as well, all the elected officials, including the mayor. I think volunteers are important to the community. They're needed, they're essential to just about any organization, institutions, businesses, but there needs to be a protocol to follow. And that protocol usually starts with your supervisor when you're in a business or whatever, but here in the borough, it would be basically the borough manager, the borough office. So whenever anything is being done within the community, it needs to go through Jerry Kenna, okay? He can bring it to council. You can contact any one of us. We can talk with Jerry, but Jerry has to know what's going on. And the reason being is liability. That's my biggest concern in this borough is the volunteers. Something happening to a volunteer, and accidents happen fast, as we all know. And the liability falling back on the taxpayer because a protocol wasn't followed. So with that in mind, Craig Alexander is going to draw up some sort of resolution, call it what you want to call it, so that we are all covered and everything is in the clear here. The other thing that I want to bring up is it's banner community time, and I had asked Sylvia, being on the communication, to work with this, to work with me, but also Pat and Janet, you're also on the communication committee. This application's 4 pages long, so it needs more than one person. There's 5 sections. Some of the sections are divided into 2 and 3 parts, and the deadline is January 31st. So if we can figure out a time when we can all meet here, and go over this application and see what can be done so that it can get submitted by the 31st of January. And that's all I have. Mr. Conti.
The road department contract, I think we have it pretty much done. I'm waiting for the copy from Mr. Alexander. I'll give it to the road department. Sounds like it'll be okay. We should be able to have an answer and have it finished by the next meeting. The Christmas tree, the road department is going to put up the Christmas tree in the new pavilion. They're going to do just white lights
It's
on
already
the
lit.
tree.
It has lights on it, Dawn.
They're already lights on?
They
Okay.
just have
There's
to
1,000 lights on there.
Okay, then they'll put it up and secure it. They just got to figure out the way that it was secured before because of wind.
Usually up on top, and
Strings.
the sandbags all around the bottom.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
they just have to figure out the 3 sections, how to connect the section of light to the next section.
Yeah.
If I may add to that, as far as the lights go, as we all know, when you put your tree up next year, none of the lights work.
Yeah.
You know, they drive you nuts. I mean, I think they should use their own judgment. If the lights ain't working, they need to
Yeah.
take them all down. Because I just gone through that over the weekend.
Okay, I'll make sure they know that. And then, we've been waiting for sizes for rain jackets for our crossing guards. We okayed a while ago to get them rain jackets for
Did we
when
ever
they're
get
out
them?
working. I finally got sizes from Billy Davis, so we can get them now. I gave them to Jerry, the sizes already to Jerry. We just have to order them or go pick them up, one of the 2, if they're in stock. And then we had an issue today when I was working in Diamond Alley right behind the Eagles. When we had the sewer repair done, the water authority had to go and cut a piece of water line out and cap both sides so they could keep the people who were tapped on that line in water and keep the water out of the line where they were working on the sewer line because how deep it is. The water line would have been over their head and there's like 180 pounds of pressure there. You don't want to mess with that. Well, when we put our part back together, water came out of the new patch
where the contractor was working. I talked to Matt Pitch, he talked to one of the bosses at the Water Authority. They're gonna look into what happened there, get a hold of the contractor. That has nothing to do money-wise with the borough, but just so everyone knows what's going on in that alley. It's gonna be a disaster for a couple days until we get this straightened out. And we went over the leaves. That's pretty much all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Carpenter?
Okay, Dave, in regards to the Second Street parking permit ordinance, Marcia and Mark did an exhaustive search, and it was not able to be found specifically as a Second Street parking permit ordinance. They found some stuff, and I thought, well, could we just amend it? And Craig or Mark recommended that we should just start over. So we're going to have to do a new one. I think he'll have that here in 2 weeks at the next meeting.
Yeah, we need to do that immediately, though.
Yeah. So he'll have that for initial purview, and then that ordinance, as well as the brew pub ordinance and the vacant property ordinance, and one other smaller, easy ordinance that I can't remember which one that is right now. All four will get advertised simultaneously after the meeting on December 11th. And then it'll be able to be one of our first ordinances for 2019.
Question on the ordinance. I know we talked about the, what do they call them, things that fly, the...
Drones.
Drones.
Yeah.
There was one flying Sunday. I guess was coming from the ball field. And I know, didn't Craig say that was kind of iffy?
We can't, as a municipality, have our own drone ordinance.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought he said.
So we just have to, might be a good idea for us to have whatever the state rules, or, whatever state, I don't think they call it ordinances, they call it something else. Have that on file so we know what the rules are
I
for
don't
the
think they have
state.
made one yet.
What's that?
I don't think they have one made.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's what
all
Craig
new
said.
to them,
There's
too.
nothing
They haven't
on
made
the
one
board.
because they have to go under FAA regulations,
Oh,
because it's something that flies.
okay.
So
So there'll be 4 ordinances on December 11th for us to consider for advertisement. And also, just a reminder then, the brew pub ordinance, because it's a zoning ordinance, will need to be, we'll need to have a public hearing. And so that public hearing will come after the advertising period of the ordinance, starting on December 11th, 12th, whatever it is. And so the public hearing for the brew pub ordinance will be on January 8th at 6 o'clock. Isn't that what we decided?
Yes.
6 o'clock on January 8th, Tuesday. The only other thing I have is that the E-Code 360 project is continuing along. It's actually a much bigger project than I ever imagined, but Marcia has been a great help with that. And I'm still, hopefully, Jerry, you can get that codification date to me.
I will get that to you this
Okay.
week.
And that will be my deadline, my personal deadline to have it hopefully ready by then. That's all I can think of right now. Unless anybody has any questions about ordinances? Okay, thanks.
Mr. McCarthy?
the police contract gone to the officers. They want another meeting, so I've talked with Dom and Ray. We're gonna set up another meeting, and so hopefully we'll have it done for the next council. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Suchovich?
Not too much, Jerry talked about the budget and everything going that way. Jerry, there's still a hydrant or two, fire hydrant or two around in town that,
And I talked to,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
And we deal with this all the time with them, and they do nothing about it. That fire hydrant at 331 Jones has been out for how long?
A year.
And we pay for rental on these.
Yep.
And not the fact that if we get a fire down there, that just creates a lot more work for everybody.
Right.
That can be an important hydrant down at the Giant Eagle Plaza. Have they said anything to you why it's taking so long?
I spoke with Diana Elise on Friday, last Monday, and she told me that they were working on flushing the systems in those areas, and that she was gonna get me a timeline on when those, and I even brought up the one on Jones Street. I said, the one on Jones Street's been bagged for a long time. And she said she was supposed to get back to me with a timeline on when they were gonna be back in service, and she didn't call me back yet. So as soon as I have an update from her, I'll reach out to you and let you know.
Well, they actually wanted to take that out, and they asked me, they says, you don't need this here, we'll take it out. And I says, no, it's one there, you're gonna leave it there. They said, well, you got one down at the other end of the street there. But like you said, if that,
What happens if the other one goes out? You have one there, let them fix it.
exactly.
And we pay every month for this, or every year for the hydrant
Yeah,
rentals.
we have hydrant fees.
Yeah, I mean, we're paying for a service we're not getting.
As soon as I hear something back from Open Water, I'll get back to you. But
Thank
I
you.
did have a conversation with her on Monday. Not this Monday, the Monday before, so.
I think there's one that may still be covered up on Allegheny Avenue by Outboard Haven.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think you're right. Well,
I really, it could
I'm
be
not sure.
uncovered. Not sure,
It
yeah.
was recently. I don't know if they fixed that one
Yeah.
or not.
I'll go look.
Maybe Mr. Conte would know, but
They did.
Okay.
Thank you.
thank you.
Mrs. Laba.
For the Parks and Rec, the only thing I really have is our next meeting is December 4th at 7 o'clock here. On another note, I do want to apologize for not taking care of the crib sign, the communication sign. I did have my son take down all the letters because it was a couple months. I just haven't had the opportunity to update it. So rather than have mismatched letters falling everywhere and some words that...
I bet nobody's gonna fire you.
I was just gonna say, if you're looking to get fired, we're not firing.
Yeah.
But
Give it your best shot and you're still not.
holiday cheer put up there very soon. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Mrs. Provenza.
Yes, thank you. The newsletter, we go to print hopefully December 14th. So if you have any ads, any articles, I need them by that date. And please remember the ads, they pay the bills. So if you know of anybody that would like an ad, please have them contact me. I'll really appreciate it. On the website, Jerry, we're just about ready to roll with that?
Yeah, we are. I actually got the photography back. Did I send it to you? Were you at the meeting?
Yeah, the ordinance meeting.
The ordinance meeting?
Yes.
We got the photography back, and there was a lot of really nice pictures. We did a really good job, so they're gonna get the final things buttoned up, and we'll be ready to rock and roll.
Okay, great.
Jerry, I was looking at those pictures and there's like 160 some pictures. I mean, really nice.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Is it their intent to use all of them?
I don't think all of them. I think that they were just taking as many as they can to figure out what fits where and like
Okay,
that. But
all right.
no, I don't think there's all of them, and they took pictures of everything. Riverview, the high school, all the schools.
The churches?
The churches and the parks, and I mean, there's some really nice shots. The boulevard, some of the businesses. It's really nice.
In the spring, we want to up the file. We want to take our trucks down to a park somewhere and get some of the two trucks, matching trucks. So maybe once we get them together,
Yeah.
we can get something put in there, you know.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You know, since they're matching and everything now, you know.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we can't do it now during the winter.
Give me an article on it if you like.
Can we get a firm date at all on the website?
I can't give you one right now, but I'm sure I can get you one if I ask for one. But I don't have one right now.
I was just wondering, maybe we could ask for January 1st.
I think that's perfectly fine. He thought that there was only about 2 weeks once they had the final photography, so I would imagine we probably might have it.
So
before
January
the-
1st or sooner?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, in the meantime, until our website is up, which will be very soon, we can view these meetings in their entirety, and the website for that would be www.veronacommunity.org. So until the website's up, you can certainly see the meetings on that. And I did want to mention Banner Community, and I thank you for mentioning it, Sandy, also. we will need, it's time again, as Sandy said, for us to get ready to work on the Banner Community Project. So what we're going to need is, Dawn, maybe from your borough workers, I don't know if they got any new equipment or anything new that, we can use for this project. If you have a report, if you can let me have that, that would be great. And then Sandy, Jan, Pat, and I will work on that.
Okay.
Also, Pat, you're with Police Department. Any new equipment with the police or anything that we can add to Banner Community? If you give me a report on that, that would be great. Ray, Fire Department, our chief. Anything new with Fire Department? Please give me a report on that so we can use it in our Banner Community paperwork. And Jan, last but certainly not least, you're with the Rec Board. I know Cribbs Field, there's been a lot of work done up there with lighting and so forth, and farmers market, food trucks, concerts in the park, all of that kind of falls under Rec Board. If you can maybe put a report together, that'll be wonderful because we can use that. Okay? I thank you all very much. Thank you, Sandy.
Okay, special committees, I'm going to turn over to Dr. Carpenter for the Council of Governments. She was kind enough to attend the meeting in November that they had changed to a different week, and I had already had prior commitments, so.
Yeah, not much to report. Mainly, they were dealing with the budget at the COG meeting, and it was passed. They also decided that there needed to be a maintenance fee for all the new equipment. So every municipality that's represented by this COG is just putting in $500 per year, which I thought was pretty reasonable. And they talked about the COG dinner that's happening Friday. And that was about it. That's it.
Thank you. Mrs. Provenza, anything on the Allegheny League of Municipalities?
No, nothing going on right now. Thank you.
I've got a question, Jerry. Their dinner in December, is that, are they still collecting Toys for Tots?
Yes, and we will.
We will?
Yep.
Okay. And Mr. Suchovich, anything on TCC?
Nothing that I know of.
I don't even know if they've gone defunct. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't hear anything from them. Council will now hear comments from the public on public-related items.
No questions? Carrie Del Rosso. Wanted to find out, I will work with you on getting the information to the press regarding the budget.
Yep.
Stuff we talked about.
Yep.
Don, do you have a date when they're going to set up the tree?
I do not, I think they're gonna do it this week, but I don't have a definite date.
Is that AJ?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe I can contact him so I can come and get pictures maybe and.
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering about that.
If I find out anything in the morning, I'll let you know.
Okay, Nancy, the ordinances that you're working on, I probably will reach out to you and try to do one thorough release on all the stuff that's going on, that way then they can publish something like that in the trip. And then we'll also put up with the brew pub ordinance hearing will be January 8th.
At 6 p.m.
Right, so what I'm gonna have, I'll probably have Mike or Dylan, you just call me directly, because you know, we've been working on them about, being, what the content is.
And I just wanted to add the other ordinance that I couldn't think of was the one for 15 miles an hour on East Railroad, along where the park is. I think it's Center to Grant.
Okay, and you mentioned that you're gonna advertise them, that you're gonna workshop about them on December the 11th. When will you plan on passing them? Until January?
Yep.
Is that what?
Yes, probably that will all happen on January 8th. The hearing will be for the brew pub. If I understand the way this works properly, still feeling a bit like a rookie, that then after that hearing, I think it can be passed at that point, and as well as the other three that don't require any hearing.
Okay, all right, sounds good. So we'll get something to talk about that. And Janet, if you want me to work on putting something together with you, I can put some things down on paper and email them to you so they get to the newsletter, which is due December 14th, right? I can send that to you about like food trucks. and things
Okay.
like that. Okay. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I just was wondering if there's a way, I was not aware until we were discussing your continued contract of all of those press releases that you did. I had no idea. And I think a lot of people in the town didn't realize. Is there any way to communicate when you're going to do something like that so people can see them and?
Well, they're all usually on social media, and they're all up there. I know it's hard. Some of the stuff will make it to print, and some won't make it to print, but it's still a release on, electronically, which goes out.
When you say release, you mean the online Trib Live?
Right, so Trib Live, which has an app, we can also, I can send that information to Curtis, and Curtis can send it out to everyone in the community.
That would be great.
And maybe-
You know what I mean?
like,
I think
yeah.
that's a good way to communicate as well.
Maybe also when our website gets functioning, maybe we could put little announcements on there, but until then, maybe we could use the community website.
I mean, we can feed into
Two.
both of them. I mean, I was gonna ask you too, I'm glad you got some pictures. You can send me over those files. I can use them on social media, because we haven't really had any. I can throw them up on social media when I'm putting a reminder. It throws analytics up too, as well.
When you say social media, is there more than Facebook?
Facebook and Instagram. And I'd like to get a Twitter account as well. I just haven't been, I don't know how many people tweet these days. I mean, it's more, Instagram is the big pull now.
Is it?
Instagram is the big pull. Yeah, it's because, and I've been putting council meeting, a reminder up, but then I can link from Instagram, I can link that to Facebook, so then everything goes out on the Facebook feed as well. So, I've also been tagging, I manage the school district's social media page, although it's been quiet lately because of things that are going on behind the scenes. I've been trying to tag Verona Borough and all of the Verona school district stuff, that way then it's a pull in and people can see that as well.
Yeah, I just think that it's important because people were unclear.
Nancy, on top of that, just to add to that, for the last few months when I did these State of the Borough reports, I've listed the releases. There weren't any on this one, but the last month there were 3, I think. So I'm gonna put them on there as well, and I plan to actually print the release and include it with that.
Yeah.
So people can see it if they're not on social media.
I just maybe need to send that over to Kathy as well. Because I think that's,
Kathy? Ferguson.
Ferguson,
Yeah.
yes. I think, and I said to Jerry today, I said, make sure everyone's aware of that, just a quick email, or that's my Google phone number on there, so even if you call and leave a message, it will usually transcribe on into my, as a text message. I can see what's going on. I think it's important. I know Verona's Chamber Christmas party, I think is scheduled December the 7th, so I can very well advertise that stuff as well, too. Is the borough having anything, or, I mean, we can talk.
I'm not sure that the chamber is a thing you want to advertise. We'll talk to you later.
I was just going to say that.
That's more closed.
They had
Yeah.
changed the location, and it
Okay.
only holds a very small amount, like 40 people or something.
I don't think that many, Dave.
Yeah.
From
30, I think they
Is that what
said.
it is, 30?
Yeah.
So it's not something you need to,
Okay.
but I also noticed, it seems as though there's a different protocol now, because in your State of the Borough report, Jerry said if you have something you want us to share with the world, just contact Carrie. And so
I did say to Jerry today, I think it's important that, there's something, because there's a lot of times too, like I'll send something to the Trib and be like, this is not worthy of us, this is worthy of just a post on social media or
Yeah.
some kind of so I think it's important that if there is something on social media and you're on there to just keep sharing it, because it's gonna get to 10 or 15 of your friends that I don't know that live here in the borough that might not. Encourage everyone to friend the borough and look for it. I think it's called Verona Borough PR on Instagram, so if you have an Instagram.
Oh, okay, Verona Borough PR.
Come on, right? I mean, I can create, more pages, but I just think sometimes it's best to have, consistency. And I am gonna attend the rec board, meeting. They seem to be like a very active group as well, see what's going on there next week, and we'll put some information out with them. I know that we talked about a tipping event, but that's not happening now.
No. We don't want to chip any people.
That would have been fun. I would have had a party around it.
We may have a different event, but we'll,
Okay, that's why I'm coming. We can brainstorm about it. No one will get hurt, I promise. Does anyone have any other questions?
Thanks, Carrie, for your hard work.
Thanks, Carrie.
Thanks, Carrie.
Okay. Okay, can I have a motion for adjournment?
Are we going to go to exec session?
No, that's not, that was from last month. We don't have an exec session, unless you have one.
Well, no, actually, I had some questions, but I think I have them answered now.
Okay.
I'll make a motion for adjournment.
Motion by Mr. Conti,
Second.
second by Mr. Suchovich. Are there any questions? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passed.